Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of JB Outdoors. Today I'm going to be starting to take away any of these old cabinets out of my 7x16 cargo trailer. We've made this into a camper conversion trailer. For those that have not seen this build yet, be sure to like and subscribe if you would like to see more. We're getting ready to empty all of the cabinets out. Starting to feel real that we're gonna tear this thing apart. So not that big of a deal, but obviously it'll be the start of a process. Morning. Today I'm gonna start the cabinet project. Start by cutting my uprights. My length or my height is gonna be 39.5 inches. So I'm gonna cut this widthwise, that way I keep the wood grain going upright for the strength of it. I don't know, that's what it's like in my head anyway, so not sure if it matters with plywood, but this is just under 3/4 inch plywood. So now that piece will get ripped into shorter sections for the uprights. As you can kind of see, the camera can pick it up, you can see I drew on the vinyl floor, and then this is the next rip that I need to make, as well as one up on this upright. I've got to take my tie down out. This is actually bolted to the frame underneath the trailer, and then I'm going to end up moving it over to here, and then I'll have one right here too. So the purpose of this is the 3 holes is my wheel chock, and then my wife had the good idea of making a false door on the bottom here, so I'll still have a face of the cabinet, but when I want to haul a total of 4 bikes instead of 2 or 3, I'll be able to take that false door out, put the wheel chock in, and then shove the nose of the bike up underneath the main cabinet here. And then this shelf is going to be up to, I think, 28 inches tall for the spare trailer tire that'll then get bolted to the wall right there. So more or less that'll be like a garage type area, but you can see how I've got this tire right now is bungeed to a D-ring that's bolted to the wall. That way I need to get to it, it'll be right inside the door. So this first cabinet that I'm going to build is just going to be where the battery gets stored, as well as where the face panel of the 12-volt system is, so it'll be right inside the door. So let's get started. Hey everyone, I'm looking for suggestions for what I'm going to do with the walls, so if you can leave a comment down below, as well as something for the backsplash on these back side of this countertop, as well as the countertop. I'm thinking about doing something with epoxy, and then we're going to end up painting these cabinets in the long run. I do have hardware for them already, but I'm not going to put them on yet until we know where we're going to, or what we're going to paint them. So if you have a color in mind, my wife is thinking some kind of gray that might go with the rest of the cabin. So I'm sure by now you probably figured out I'm not a cabinet maker, but I'm doing the best with what I got. I've got saving a little bit of material here by cutting these down. This middle section, like I said, is going to be just, this will be one big drawer, I think. And then that'll be majority of the kitchen stuff, like cutlery and whatnot. Again, I'm going to put that face panel for the battery box in this side. This piece I'm not sure if I'll leave or if I'll take out, but we'll see. That's just to kind of to keep it square currently. And then obviously there will be a countertop that goes over this here. Again, I'm not sure if I'll leave this here and then probably have multiple long drawers for like pots, pans, stuff like that. And then on this side I haven't really figured out how I'm going to do this. I need to get a nailer or nailers on this material, and then this will be the shelf where my portable AC unit will roll in underneath, as well as some stuff like a pop-up canopy as a bathroom for my wife. And then there will be a shelf somewhere in here. Figure out the heights, and then the refrigerator will stand on a shelf that's about this high. So it'll be a refrigerator on the bottom with a little tiny freezer on top. And then I think I'll be running, probably put a junction box or something in right there. And then I'll put a dedicated 110 plug up here. But there'll be some shelves in here. I had a total of 2 sheets of this almost 3/4 stuff. I don't remember what the actual dimensions were. But you see my cutoff there, and then this cutoff, and that's all I have left for now. So I think I'll have enough material to do what I need to do today. So I still don't have the fridge. I haven't bought that yet, but I do have the dimensions I found off the internet for it, so I found what I need. Dang, it's almost like it was made for it. And shove that back even further and have more room. The old one came out about that far. The old cabinet did, so this cabinet actually comes out just a little bit further from the original. Like I said, there's a vent right there. Plenty of room for the window. No longer will have that like arm that folds down. I actually have a nice piece of wood in my basement I'm going to have come up, so then there will be a table right here. Now I can move the spare tire up underneath there, strap it to the wall, or even to the side of that cabinet. I guess I could work. And then I might take this out and then cut this into strips for different braces now that this is out of here. So might use my little nibbler thing and cut those off. It's all coming together. Check this out. Get a little wider angle view on it. Morning everyone, welcome back. Little intermission. Last I saw you was last week Sunday, and it is the next following week Saturday. So get through a work week and then get back to the projects. So this week I've got a little bit more material here. I'll show you. We've got 3 sheets of 15-30 seconds plywood, and the purpose of this will be for the drawers, the faces of the drawers, and continuing the build for the overhead cabinets. Now I've got the overhead cabinets, I've got some material from my old cabinets that I had that was the countertop already cut to fit this area. So I just thought of this, so I haven't like mocked it up to see how it's gonna fit or work or anything. So now looking back at this, I didn't realize this is where I left off from last week, so I'll be continuing to extend the wiring harness. And then last week you guys probably saw this little cabinet that I built, or what's gonna be a cabinet, and then adding in the switch panel right here rather than here, just to utilize the space a little bit better. And still don't have the fridge. I actually have it bought, I just need to go pick it up. Got the fridge today. Do a little test fit. Dude. That is awesome. So, got the exact fridge that I wanted, and it fits very well. I think it's sitting on the cord underneath something. And I've got these little pieces of Velcro here from the previous owner. I ended up buying this from my uncle that had this in a semi and no longer needed it. So works out very well. I don't know if that Velcro will work for this, but yeah, I got a freezer now. That was a big driver for wanting this fridge, is being able to have this freezer. So that'll go back with just a little bit more, and then I'll probably find out what I can do instead of that Velcro, just to play it safe for transporting. And then I was thinking I'd have enough room up top to be able to do something else with, but I'll probably just end up putting like a trim piece up top. So like I said, that'll sit back just a little bit more once I put the rest of the shelf in there. But for a test fit, that is exciting. A little bit of progress today. It's all coming together. Mocking up the switch panel. Got power on to the whole panel currently. Rear lights, the fan, and front lights off, on. And then I've got a spare power socket. So all this, I ended up wiring this switch panel backwards from how I used to have it. So now my spare panel is the power on to the entire panel. So my front cabin lights, or my rear cabin, are still rear. Fan is still the fan, and front cabin still the front cabin. The end where it says power socket is still just a spare. So currently nothing hooked up to the back of it, and I am now confirmed that my extension of the wiring harness is complete. So I'm going to zip tie all this up and make it look super pretty and hide it in this channel here that'll go down on the side, and then it comes in through the hole that I drilled through the actual little medicine cabinet looking thing. So I've made a line I want to cut this about, I think it's like 8 inches from the ceiling, which is like that. And then I'll have to cut this side too. And then this will have a door that opens up 8 inches from the ceiling down. I'll have my overhead storage that comes out to about this line here. This line is furred out from the closest actual cross member here. So it's got some wood here, wood structure here that's bolted to the actual cross member there. And then I'll have a drop down here that'll be a little bit of a support. This piece that's already cut is from my old cabinets and shelving and whatnot, so that's already cut to fit basically that entire spot. Today I've got the fridge in place, and I've got plywood outside that's ready to start building drawers as well as drawer faces and whatnot. So a lot of progress without making progress today, but the wiring was not really that big of a thing, but at least it's done now. So like I said, now I'll get some zip ties, make it look pretty, and fit into where it's supposed to fit into, and then this will all get covered up by the next cabinet that goes in place. So I can move the door over, so I can move the hinge over to where it opens out like this. Currently it's set up to open up like this, so that'll be, I think, perfect for that. And then I have to finish up the shelving on this end and then screw the thing down. I think I'm going to try to screw it down somehow. I've got the one test coat for the color of the cabinets that we chose, or that I chose. My wife did not agree with it, but I wanted to see it on the wood and see how it looked. But it could be, I don't know. See what her opinion is now that it's on the wood itself. I think we want more of a maybe glossy look, where this is like a satin. So this is going to go right here. I'm going to get this all buttoned up, and I'll let it go like that. A little rounded edge on this side, so it's nice. We'll start putting this on. We'll see what we can do. Alright, here's what the finished face will look like. Probably a couple more coats of paint and make this, if this is a color that we land on, we'll see. But now my power will be right inside the door to my right. So that'll power on the whole panel. And then that's fused with a 15 amp fuse. And then I've got my rear lights, my fan, and then my front cabin lights. And then I'll swap these two stickers. This will end up being the power socket, and then this will be the spare, since the orientation was backwards from when I originally installed this on the opposite side of the trailer. Got a couple USB plug-ins, charge my phone or whatnot, and then the 12 volt power socket. voltmeter reading 12.4 currently. I don't know how the camera picks it up or not, but then I'll have a little face that goes on here, and then that'll be like a medicine cabinet slash spice cabinet, whatever we deem necessary for it. So I'll probably end up painting the inside of this too, and then clean it up. So now you'll be able to just reach right inside the door, turn the lights on. First switch right here, shut the whole panel off. Routed this edge so I can reach around and then not have a sharp edge right here. So a little bit more sanding on the face of this, and then all this stuff will get painted too. But that's a huge success as we're coming into you know, part of the finishing portion of this, which is nice. Sweet. So this weekend updates, I got the fridge in. The overhead rack is somewhat done. It still needs some fine tuning. Got the power hooked up. Battery is down where it's going to live. I'll probably end up putting some kind of rubber matting or something down below, and then also strap that to the wall down there. That side is vented, and then I've got this here. This is a charger for it, just a battery tender, and then down below there's a plug-in just for this. So that used to be for the fridge that was down there, but that no longer lives there, obviously. So that is one thing I have to do yet, is take the fridge out, reorientate the doors to where it opens, finish that shelf, and then I need to run power up to the back of the fridge just to have a dedicated plug for it. I need to figure out what I want to do, potentially even put in like a light switch for it, but hide it more or less so somebody can't just touch it. But I don't always use the fridge when I'm using the trailer, so I think if I'll just have my light switch service disconnect just to shut that one plug off. Just came up with that. Huh. Just kind of mocking it up. Like I said, I don't have the hinges yet, but that will be the door. Painted that same color. This was a leftover chunk of birch. I think it was birch plywood. But yeah, I want to put a flush mount hinge, that way nothing sticks out. Hinges that I had were a face mount, so I would have had to slide this over and then mount it over here, but I want this to line up and look like it's meant to be there, even though that gap doesn't quite look correct. Hopefully one of the last times picking this fridge up. Got the little trim piece up here that ties it all together, and then I reorientated the doors. Right. It's almost like it was made for that spot. Huh. I feel like all the stars aligned when I bought this, because I looked it up on the internet and was going to go buy it new, and then my uncle had it for sale. It was used for a year in his semi. So crossing my fingers it was the same one. It's a different brand, but it's the same size, and then has a top freezer. But when I looked it up online, I built or I basically built the dimensions off of the dimensions for the fridge, so it turned out pretty well, all in all. First full drawer just went in. This one I put 20-inch slides, drawer slides on. I haven't put the face on yet, but just getting the actual drawers in. This is the 24-inch one for the next one over. And then I decided to try to save a little bit of money by utilizing some pine plywood. I think it was like 50 bucks a sheet rather than buying the like 1x10s or 1x12s that ended up adding up. So I ripped this, it's just about 3/4 plywood, and it looks pretty nice. This, you can see the shape of the drawer. I ended up trying to match the contour of the nose of the trailer just to utilize as much space as possible. So that worked out well. And like I said, I got I'll be making some drawer faces out of that same plywood that'll just look nice and cover up everything else, and then mount some mounting hardware to pull the whole drawer out. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 more drawers to go, and be on our way to finishing this up here. Most tedious part so far, building these drawers, but it's going to be so much nicer. My plan was to build the drawers out, and then once I figure out where certain things go that I want to be able to store, I'm going to put dividers in. Probably the same kind of plywood that I have multiple sheets of, because I didn't plan for the thickness that I needed, so I went and got more plywood. But I hope to make this super clean and continue improving the build. Following deer season 2024, I'm getting back into working on the camper project. So today I'm working on the beauty plates for the drawers. So you can see I got this menagerie of tools set up in my garage. Table saw and miter saw out here. So the piece that I had on the table that I was sanding is going to be the beauty plates for this drawer, and this drawer. Possibly that one, but I think that one's going to be a little bit deeper. So I've got it sanded and routed with a 45-degree edge on this side, and then I'll have to figure out something for the top. Today I put these hinges in. I had to figure out how to drill this hole, and I ended up just using the router because I don't have the special boring bit to do it, but it's an 1 3/8 hole that I had to do to put that in. So that's considered a soft close hinge, and that's also got that 1/2 inch round over bit. So the top will have to get dressed up a little bit, but that's nice. So this will be like a spice cabinet, and then also where my 12-volt panel is housed. This is the test color for the cabinets. That's the only piece that I painted so far, and now it's like 20 degrees out today. So next, after the beauty plates, I'll put these things up. So stay tuned. You'll get to see the rest of it happen. Here I'm getting excited because I need to use this thing as a camper again. I've got some more projects in mind. First drawer complete with the front plate on. This one's really cool because it follows the contour of the nose of the trailer just to maximize the storage availability. So I've got the next few to do. This drawer also, this is the big one. This is gonna be like the kitchen drawer. So I'm excited. Really excited to use this thing. First bit of satisfying drawers done. I'm starting to wonder if I want to put handles on it or not, just because I like how clean it is. Got these two smaller drawers And then this is on a soft close door. This is going to be where the battery goes. Or for now at least, that's where the battery's going to be. This is going to be one big false door. So I'm going to use just magnets or cabinet close pieces. My spare tire, for now at least, is going to be mounted to the wall right there. As you guys see where it's at right now, that's mounted to the wall. I'll probably end up putting that outside, but this is going to be like the garage type area. And then if you see these 3 holes, that's where the wheel chock for one of my motorcycles goes. So I already measured. This is tall enough that the nose of the motorcycle will get pushed up into there. So I'll pull this whole false door out. And then this is going to end up being a door as well. This will be a door here. And then I'm contemplating, I already have drawer slides for another drawer. Contemplating if I want a drawer there or not. I don't know if it's really necessary or if just another door there will be okay. Then we'll move on to up top. It's coming along really nicely. I really like how it's turning out. These hinges are really cool. They're recessed, but you have to drill an 1 3/8 hole. And obviously you don't want to drill through the face of it. There is a boring tool, but I didn't have it, but I do have a router. So I show you guys a little trick. I took an 1 3/8 hole saw and drilled just enough to figure out the footprint of it. And then I have an 1/8" straight cut bit on the old Craftsman or Sears router here. And then I'm down about 1/2 inch, so you have to recess into the wood about 1/2 inch. So I was going to show you guys that. Ends up being pretty decent actually. There you have it. Hopefully I was able to speed that up for you so you didn't have to listen to that thing. That fits nice in there. Very last door going on soon. I've got to drill the holes for the hinges, and then I'll put that on, put a beauty plate on the last piece, and then the cabinets will be as close to done as they'll be this winter. Alright guys, well I'm super excited to show you cabinets for the first time. Fridge looks great in there. Power is on, shore power currently. I've got, starting from the left, we got a drawer, or this was going to be a drawer. This has ended up just being a shelf. I'm going to see if a helmet will fit in there, and then we can keep our helmets there. We got the AC down here. That's one of those portable AC units that'll roll out. It's on wheels, as well as a plug inside for the fridge. It's just a dedicated plug. Up top, we've got some soft close hinges on these overhead cabinets. There's also one of those 12-volt recessed lights in here too. One more here. That's all just one big open space. There's no dividers inside. This is going to be a spice rack slash medicine cabinet or something. Majority of this shelf was just built for the switch panel here. Switch panel, currently the battery's inside charging. Got a small drawer here. Another small drawer here, and then this door, or this is a door here for the battery. The battery will go down here. Excuse my mess. Still cleaning up. This is one big door for now. That's going to end up being the garage space. I still need to figure out something different with this door just because I need to be able to utilize this wheel chock. The nose of my KTM 890 will fit up underneath here. And then I also need to figure out tie downs, but that's for another day. This is a door to another big area down here. I'll be able to store bigger stuff. I wanted to put the hinges on this side, but the hinges just don't work like this unless I added a void or like a nailer here, and I didn't want to take away any width for this area. I'm sure somebody's got a trick up their sleeves. Feel free to share. Otherwise, that's it. This ended up being a really cool project. I am glad that it's coming to a close because I'm really excited to use this thing again. But this is a huge upgrade for this. You guys are probably going to ask where the countertop is. I'm still thinking of what I want to do. I think I'm going to end up putting making the sheet that goes on top of just plywood, and then playing with a little bit of epoxy, maybe even some like black epoxy or some kind of dye that's inside. So if you have any ideas, comment down below. And then as well as the paneling, I'm going to end up putting some kind of paneling like subway tile, faux subway tile on here, as well as on the backsplash here. So share your ideas down below. I'm building this along with you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you watching, especially if you made it this far in the video. We're going to get this thing ready to camp in, and I'm going to build an off-grid cabin. So this was a push to get this thing closed up. So if you want to watch any of that stuff, stay tuned for the future. Thanks again for everyone watching. My name is Justin with JB Outdoors. Remember to spend more time outdoors. I'll see y'all in the next video.